One of the important things about the gardening or this regenerative agriculture is compost. And so we've done some seminars on compost, but I just want to show you how I tend to lay it out, and it gets you the size you need and then how I work it. So first of all, I will say that a pitchfork like this is my greatest tool. It's very helpful. So I recommend you try to find one like that. The first thing I do is just to lay out the area that I'm going to make the compost. So, and I usually get sticks just that are around, lay it out, and then oftentimes I use my pitchfork. That's one method. I lay it out and then put this at the end. That's one method. The other method is to just use your own stride steps, 2 steps apart. And I always say, you know, put the sticks on north and south, and then do the same thing with east and west. And you don't have to keep the sticks there the whole time, but those will help you in order to get a rounded pile. And then I usually collect ahead of time mounds and piles of, this is cow manure. This is a bit dry right now. And then here's some hay, that's some of my brown material. And then I usually will have cut grass in this area. If I have another leaves or something, I might put it around. So I've kind of put the piles of the things I want to use around where I'm going to make the compost. And the compost is just layering brown material and green material. Green meaning higher in nitrogen, so the cow manure or chicken manure, those manures would be that. Also green cut grass. Leaves and hay would be higher in carbon. And so I would take my pitchfork and I would get some of the brown, and I would lay it out and make it, you know, a couple inches or 5 centimeters thick, and then alternate and put some green on top of it. And depending upon how dry things are, I'll usually, after doing a brown layer and a green layer, then you can see actually I have a hose out here. I'm connected to a well at this property. And I would then spray down, or if I were by, you know, an area where there was some water, I could take it out of with a bucket, whether it's a creek or whatever. Then I would take it and in a watering can maybe and water it. Then again, layer it and water, layer and water. And then you would end up covering it with a tarp, or usually a tarp. I would go ahead and get one if you can. These are very helpful and they really do well for covering it. So I'd cover the top with this tarp, and then, and the whole thing is not necessarily going to be covered, but the top will be. I often, actually before I put the tarp on, I'll put 2 sticks on top of the pile, just so it gets it up off of the direct hay and grass. Put the tarp on, and then I get a few other sticks to put around the edge so it keeps the tarp down in case the wind comes up or something. So if you come over here, I'll show you how, after doing this process, and we can do this live when I'm there, but we, then what we come up with is really amazing. This is it right here. So you can see it. Usually one of the tests for it is that it smells like the soil that you'll find in a forest. And you can see that this was, you know, bigger pieces of things, but it's just been broken down. And so if I just kind of, you know, you can see it's beautiful. And it's very helpful to start your seeds into, and then later you can make more compost and apply it at different intervals throughout the growing season.